Welcome to the webinar version of BVT's College Application Process Workshop. In this presentation, you will learn the responsibilities that both students and counselors have in the college application process, which can vary from high school to high school. You may be wondering when and where to begin this process. Junior year is the time when students should begin to take this process seriously. However, at BVT, students are exposed to future planning curriculum throughout all 4 years of high school in their career enrichment classes and through the individual work that they do with their counselors to ensure that they have ample support as they plan their next steps. Students can access their counselors for individual appointments through the Remind system, youcanbook.me, and email. Junior year is a time for students to challenge themselves while keeping balance and well-being in mind. Consider 1 or 2 growth areas to focus on, whether it's academics, diving deeper into an activity they're already involved in, or perhaps participating in something new that they've always wanted to try. Information related to the college application process, such as college process timelines, the campus visit procedures, and letter of recommendation request forms, can be found on Naviance under the Document Resources, on the School Counseling Canvas page in the Grade 11 module, and on the BVT website under Parents and Students, Student Support Services, College and Career Planning. Naviance also offers a variety of college research tools, a way for students to save their prospective college list, and it is the platform that BVT uses to send electronic documents to colleges and universities, such as transcripts and letters of recommendation. Collegeboard.org also offers many college research tools and information about the SAT and AP exams. There are several pieces of the college application process for juniors to focus on in the fall. First, they should be studying for the SAT and/or ACT exams. The PSAT was offered to juniors in October. It may also be helpful for students to enroll in an SAT or ACT prep class and to take practice exams online. Students were also encouraged to attend our college process night with their parents or to have them listen to this webinar because applying to college is typically a family affair. So great job. You're checking that off right now. Students should also be using their College and Career Action Plan, which was begun in Career Enrichment in November, to start researching colleges and majors. This is a great tool for students and parents to use as they're working to break down the college process step by step. Students are also encouraged to request appointments with their counselor if they have any questions along the way. Appointments can be booked using the Remind system, youcanbook.me, or over email. Spring is the time for juniors to take the SAT and/or ACT exam. It's also when they narrow down their college list to 1 to 2 safety, 2 to 3 fit, and 1 to 2 reach schools. We'll go into more detail about what those are in a minute. Student college lists should be posted to Naviance under the Colleges I'm Thinking About section. It can be really helpful to begin visiting college campuses at this time. It goes a long way towards narrowing down a list of 10 to 12 schools to that shorter, more focused, well-rounded out list. Again, students are encouraged to make appointments with their counselor if they have any questions about the college process along the way. Appointments can be made using the Remind system, youcanbook.me, or over email.
This slide talks about the junior year counselor responsibilities. The counselors will introduce the college application process to juniors through presentations in their shops. We will also introduce the Junior College and Career Action Plan in their career enrichment classes. This plan can really help break down the college application process for students. Students have also been encouraged to share these plans with their parents. Counselors also will meet individually with juniors who request an appointment. And of course, we are here to answer questions along the way. During a student's junior year, they should start to work on the colleges I am thinking about list on Naviance. Typically, we recommend students apply to 3 to 5 schools. We always recommend applying to a safety school. This could be a school where your GPA and SAT scores are well above their average. A fit school is a school where your GPA and SAT scores are within their average range. And then if you'd like, you can apply to a reach school where your SATs and GPA would fall below their school's average. It's also important to think about academic and financial fitness of colleges. There are many tools on Naviance and College Board to help find and research colleges. The most important thing you can do is go and visit these schools. February and April breaks are great times to see the colleges in action when the students are on campus. If you're visiting a college on a school day, complete a campus visit form to excuse the absence. If the colleges you want to apply to are not having visits at this time due to COVID-19, there are a lot of virtual tours online you can take. It is the student's responsibility to check college course requirements. Make sure the courses you've taken and plan to take meet the admissions requirements for colleges you're thinking about applying to. Some majors may have additional requirements. For example, if you want to go into engineering, you typically need to take at least a pre-calculus class. Make sure when planning senior classes that they will meet the requirements of the colleges and majors being considered. Juniors will register for their senior year classes in January and February, so you have plenty of time to do research on these requirements. During a student's junior year, they will register for the SATs and/or the ACT in the spring of their junior year. You can register for the SAT on collegeboard.org, and you can register for the ACT on actstudent.org. Please make sure you register about a month prior to the test. If a student is on free and reduced lunch, they should contact their counselor to retrieve a fee waiver. Typically, students take both exams junior year and see which one they do better on. The one that they do better on, they would take again in the fall of their senior year to try to improve their scores. On the right side of this slide, you will see the differences between the SAT and the ACT. The most notable difference is the ACT has a science section. During the summer before your senior year, it's important to start to think about when you will apply to college. There are a few different ways to apply: early action, regular decision, early decision, or rolling admissions. Early action is when you are applying to the school early. Typical deadlines in the fall for early action are November 1st, November 15th, and December 1st. Regular decision deadlines are typically January 1st, February 1st, and then some in between. Early decision is different from early action because it's a binding contract. So if you are accepted to that school, you must attend the college. It's only recommended you apply early decision if you're 110% sure you want to attend that college and you're 110% sure you can pay for that college. Some schools may have rolling admissions as well. This means that the college evaluates applications as they receive them instead of having a hard deadline. They may still list a priority deadline to try to get materials in by. Senior year is a good year to start thinking about who you can ask for letters of recommendation. Some questions to consider are, how many letters does the college require you to get? Which teachers know you best? Have you worked with them recently? And what major are you considering? For example, if you're considering a math major, it might be a good idea to get a letter of recommendation from your math teacher. Other options for letter of recommendation is administration, coaches, or employers. Summer before your senior year is a great time to be productive. Visit some final colleges you're thinking about applying to narrow down your list. It's also a good idea to gain meaningful experience at a job or internship. Also start brainstorming your college essay. Use the Common Application essay prompts to start thinking about the essay. At the very least, you should have a first draft done before you enter into your senior year, so you are less stressed out during the school year about writing your college essay. Also think about if you want to take the SATs or ACTs again in the fall of your senior year. It's a good idea to retake whichever exam you scored better on to try to improve your scores. Colleges only consider the highest scores. Some COVID considerations for the class of 2022. At this time, many colleges have waived the SAT and ACT requirements for the graduating class of 2021. We are still waiting for information on the class of 2022. Due to this, admissions offices will look more closely at the student's personal statement, which is their essay. Colleges want students to note if they have been through any significant challenges during COVID. Admissions offices want to emphasize that self-care is really important during this pandemic. The goal of this time is to not do extraordinary service of some kind. Of course, it's always good to volunteer and do extracurricular activities, but only for those who are able to during this time. You will not be penalized for not doing something because of the pandemic. Admissions offices will primarily base their admissions evaluation on student academic achievement prior to and after the pandemic. Admissions offices will be more flexible with looking at transcripts. They understand that high schools will be handling curriculum and grading systems differently during COVID. For example, when BVT went to the pass, no pass grading system last spring. Admissions offices want students to reach out to them with questions and concerns. They want to know more about you and they want to help you through the process. At this time, a lot of campuses are doing virtual tours or drive-through campus tours. Please look at your prospective college's website to see what tours they have to offer.
Senior year is an exciting year, but it is also filled with many responsibilities that go along with the college process. Students and counselors have different responsibilities when working with the college application process. Counselor responsibilities include reviewing the college application process with all students. Counselors also meet individually with seniors who request appointments. Counselors will write letters of recommendation for students who ask their counselor to write one. Counselors also send letters of recommendation to schools as requested by students, and we send the students' transcripts to schools as well. Counselors are always available to answer questions along the way, so students should always reach out if they need help. Senior year, there are many student responsibilities. Here are just a few. Students should finalize their list of colleges in Naviance. They should also complete and send applications to colleges. Retake the SATs or ACTs to try and improve their scores, and also send the SATs and ACT scores. Ask for letters of recommendation to be written and sent. Request transcripts to be sent. Look at Naviance often for scholarship opportunities. After October 1st, the FAFSA opens. They should complete the FAFSA and CSS profile if required by the college. Once accepted to college, tell your counselor and update your Naviance account. How to complete each part of the college application. There are many different pieces that go into one application. On the left-hand side of this slide, you will see what the student needs to submit, and on the right-hand side, you will see what the counselor submits. Let's go over it. The student submits a completed college application with an essay if it is required by the college. Student also completes their financial aid application and CSS profile if required by the college. Students are also responsible for submitting their SATs or ACT scores if they are required. Counselors are responsible for submitting transcripts and letters of recommendations to the colleges. All pieces are sent separately, but end up at the same place. Students are responsible to tell their counselor when their deadlines are and request through Naviance to have transcripts and letters of recommendation sent. Here are parts of the college application process that the student submits. How to complete the college application. Number 1, determine if the college you are applying for uses the common application or their own application. Either way, you will need to create an account. If you are using the common application, you can go to www.commonapp.org. And for an individual college website's application, you should go directly to the college website and look to see how to apply. Number 2 is to complete the application information. Number 3, if required, write the essay. Students should have their English teacher or at least one other person review and edit their essay and attach it to their application. Number 4, students submit their completed application, essay, and fee to their colleges online. In rare cases where an application must be mailed, students should bring it to their school counselor well in advance of the due date. How to take the SATs and ACTs. For the SATs, you can sign up on www.collegeboard.org. For the ACTs, the website is www.actstudent.org. You should check to see if the colleges you are applying to require the SATs or ACTs. Colleges do not prefer one exam over another, and students do not need to take both, but some students choose to in order to see which test they perform better on. To see test dates and to register, create an account at www.collegeboard.org for the SAT or www.actstudent.org for the ACT. Registration deadlines occur at least 1 month before the test. If a student has free or reduced lunch, they should see their counselor for a fee waiver. If a student receives test accommodations, they should see their counselor to make sure they are approved. Once a student knows when they will be taking the exam, start studying. During registration, students should be sure to take advantage of their 4 free score reports. Students are responsible for sending official score reports to colleges through the testing companies. Applying for financial aid. Financial aid. You could attend a financial aid planning seminar. They are offered at mifa.org/events. On October 1st, the FAFSA free application for federal student aid is available to begin filling out online at fafsa.ed.gov. Some colleges will also ask students to complete the CSS profile, which is available online at www.collegeboard.org. Students should also look for scholarships throughout the year. Throughout their senior year, students should be checking the scholarship list in Naviance. Students should go to their town's high school website to also look for town-specific scholarships available for them to apply for. Students should check with their employers and their families' employers to see if they offer any scholarships. Now I will talk about parts of the college application process that the counselor submits. How to request letters of recommendation to be sent by your counselor to the college of your choice. Number 1, determine how many letters you need based on college requirements. Generally, 2 or 3 is good. School counselors are happy to write letters of recommendation, but only do so upon request. Students should always go to their college website to see how many letters of recommendation the schools require and recommend. Number 2, decide who you will ask to write letters for you. At least 1 month before the letter is due, ask for letters of recommendation in person and provide the teacher or counselor with a completed letter of recommendation form and a resume. It's always nice to write a thank you letter after a person writes a letter of recommendation for you. Number 3, request the letter in Naviance. Number 4, it is the student's responsibility to make sure all schools are listed in Naviance and check in with school counselor to make sure they get sent by the deadlines. How to request transcripts to be sent by your counselor. Number 1, add the colleges you are applying to in your Naviance account. You can request transcripts at that time or later. Students applying to Common App schools need to match their Naviance and Common App accounts. Number 2, if a college is already in a student's list, but transcripts have not been requested, they can be requested to be sent anytime. It is the student's responsibility to check Naviance to make sure that his or her transcripts are sent on time. Students can also reach out to counselors at any point. Here are a few important notes. Counselors are always available if any student or parent would like to make an appointment. In August, counselors give a presentation in senior shops on BVT's college application process, timeline, and how to complete their applications. There is a lot of information about college applications, financial aid, etc. on the BVT website and Naviance. Students should always double check with their counselor that materials have been sent to colleges prior to their deadlines. Students should always double check with the colleges that they have applied to that all materials have been received prior to their deadlines. You can do this. The college application process does not have to be stressful. You have a counselor waiting to work with you and answer any questions you may have, so please reach out. Thank you for taking the time to watch this PowerPoint, and if you have any questions at all, please reach out to a counselor. Thank you.